As we know, around the country, the history, there were lots of firsts for African Americans that were ignored.
Public school says it's been working on more culturally balanced teaching, and that includes more African American history. Of course, with that comes changes to social studies curriculum and internal audits of
that
other
must
subjects.
change. Y'all got it. Hey everybody, this is Dean FM, Dean Fraser Milford here for your creature. What? And today, I wanted to do another reaction video. This one's going to be to meet some African-American women who have shaped Colorado's history. I haven't been to Colorado, but no. Sorry, y'all go. Is my face as full as JD's though? Am I giving bag in the shape of a Confederate chipmunk? There's some good old momentum in that swing. So let's get right into this. This is one of the videos on the news, but it only has 300 views from 5 years ago. Shows you just how infrequent my sisters reported on.
We have heard from a number of Next viewers in recent weeks, people asking, quite genuinely, what they can do personally to fight systemic racism. Well, education helps.
What could you do?
Educating yourself, educating others. The Blair Caldwell African American Research Library says more and more people have been contacting them lately asking for an education. They told our Anusha Roy they recommend starting with learning about
signs of the times
who have shaped our state.
The Blair Caldwell African American Research Library is currently closed because of COVID-19, but a pandemic hasn't stopped people from reaching out about another crisis.
It didn't stop us from doing that.
After George Floyd was killed in Minneapolis when an officer pressed his knee into Floyd's neck, the library has had more people reaching out, like authors and teachers, people who realized they needed to learn more about their community's history and help teach others. Terry Nelson with the library.
You know, make no mistake, talk about George Floyd. Make sure you understand when we're talking about George Floyd, that it's not just him. It is a long list of people who have been brutalized and victimized by police, more so than just like, you know, this is one thing that happened. People really be inflamed by Black Lives Matter.
Recognizing women who've made a difference.
Well, they were the role models.
Like Sarah Foster, the first woman president of the Five Points Business Association in the early 1960s, and Emma Azalea Hackley, a musician and social activist who Nelson says hasn't received enough recognition for the work she did.
I don't doubt it.
Then there's Lucille Buchanan Jones, the first African-American woman to graduate from the University of Colorado.
It was not allowed to actually walk across the stage.
You gotta know the first of where you're going, like.
At the time, for instance, Lucille, it wasn't important and it wasn't significant that an African-American woman be pointed out as being the first to get a degree.
There's no racial problems.
From the University of Colorado. As we know, around the country, the history, there were lots of firsts for African-Americans that were ignored.
Community activist Dr. Nita Mosby Towers said a historical look back is key. She says it keeps us from thinking every moment is a snapshot. It is all linked to the past. It helps acknowledge how deep-rooted racism is, which is why Nelson is encouraged by all the people trying to learn.
And I hate that I have to emphasize this within the queer community often too, y'all.
So when it comes to education, over the last school year, Denver Public Schools says it's been working on more culturally balanced teaching, and that includes more African American history. Of course, with that comes changes to social studies curriculum and internal audits of other subjects where they need to improve. And Kyle, they said a big part of that is talking to their own teachers and students on how to do those improvements properly.
And the current conversation, Anusha, is changing our thought process as a news outlet in terms of who are we talking to? Which voices do we have the opportunity to highlight?
Yeah, absolutely. And a part of that is honestly hearing from you guys at home. If there is a community leader that we should be talking about who's doing some great work, let us know. We'd love to reach out to them so we can continue to share these stories and most importantly, continue this conversation.
Angela Elsa Books.
Right,
one more.
Thank you as always.
Thank you for reporting that. And I think that it's important that we definitely make sure that we hear these stories from the people themselves, not just people reporting on it. So yeah, hope you have a nice day. I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.